Back when she on her knees, back with the replies, her time ain't free. I don't even blame her. Yeah, I know how it be. See,
it is Monday, and I ain't got no weed. I'm gonna have some delivered to me in a few hours, though. Perhaps even sooner than that. But I hope y'all had a good weekend. We got a couple of things to discuss today. We got a lot going on today. You know what I'm saying? First, we gonna talk about Kerry Lake. We got a couple of videos to go over today. Like I said, we gonna talk about Kerry Lake. We gonna talk about Planet Fitness. I don't know if you've ever worked out there before, but apparently they are like really getting caught up with not allowing people to cancel their memberships or making it very difficult for people to cancel their memberships. So what did they call it? They called it like a sign-up operation with gyms on the side, because I don't know if you've ever worked out there, but like kind of the whole thing with Planet Fitness is it's very cheap. I'm pretty sure it's like $10 a month for the membership. But they make it very difficult, like I said, for people to exit their membership. So we'll look at that and a couple of other things. But we're going to get straight into it because I got a number of other things to do today. I got to work an overnight shift tonight as well. So by the time I get back home tomorrow, I will have been up for like 26, 27 hours. But that's what we do, is working people. So now let's go ahead and get into Kerry Lake. Let's see what she's talking about. And again, I don't know if the comments on this thing is just not really working, but it wasn't last time. So if anybody who files in and comments on this program that I'm using, I haven't been able to see it since the last time I did it, but I'll get to the bottom of it. It's always some shit with technology, and you know, I'm still relatively new at streaming, so I'm sure I'll go through a variety of programs and stuff. But for right now, let's go ahead and get into it. So Kerry Lake lost nearly 40,000 Maricopa County voters. Lost because nearly 40,000 Maricopa County voters cast ballots for other GOP candidates, but not her. And, you know, this is, you know, it's not like this is surprising or fascinating. This is what happens in elections. You know, people lose when they get less votes. You know, and Kerry Lake, as we know, she ran a rather ridiculous campaign. She wasn't talking about nothing but the 2020 Trump actually winning. She wasn't talking about nothing but ridiculous right-wing conspiracies. And like I pointed out, oh, the chat is working. What up, lady? What up, Lady Intrigue? Appreciate you for being here. But again, like I said about Kerry Lake before, like she really didn't even need to step in to politics whatsoever. She was successful. She was a news anchor in Arizona. She's attractive, you know what I mean? Like she's a middle-aged woman and she still looks great. She could have done a variety of other things, or if anything else, you know what I mean. What up, Ruby? Hope you well too. Appreciate you for being here. But again, you know, like basically what I'm saying is about Kerry Lake is she had a lot going for herself. She really didn't need to do this. But if she was going to run for governor, she could have ran a normal campaign, but I guess she figured that wasn't going to get her enough attention. But yeah, you know, very attractive woman, news anchor job in Arizona, had everything going for herself. But now that she entered the race, her reputation is pretty much sizzled and sauced. But that's because of her. So, you know, boo-hoo to that. But so let's go into it. Kerry Lake, the Trump-backed Republican candidate who lost the 2022 Arizona governor's race to Democrat Katie Hobbs, fell short because tens of thousands of Maricopa County voters cast ballots for other Republicans. Again, you know, this isn't even a thing like, oh, the Democrats came and stole it. No, you just lost. You know, it's okay. The election was a highly contentious one, with Hobbs refusing to debate Lake over the Republicans' promotion of former President Donald Trump's baseless claims of election fraud in the 2020 election. You know, and again, after Kerry Lake lost the election, even still, like recently, she was talking about she has some like brand new, like groundbreaking evidence of election fraud that she's going to put out, but she, you know, didn't want to say what it was because there's no, you know, groundbreaking election fraud. That's not a thing. She just lost. Okay, Lake's loss, according to the Republic, Lake's loss boils down to the fact that she alienated vast swaths of her fellow Republicans, pointing to a recent analysis of the public voting records to identify the disaffected voters who support the majority of candidates from one political party but cast a vote for the opposing party in a specific race. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, this really isn't surprising. So here we go. Those decisions made a profound difference. Democrat Katie Hobbs picked up the support of 33,000 Maricopa County voters who cast ballots for Republicans in 6 down ballot races, such as state treasurer and county attorney. Adding to Lake's deficit were another nearly 6,000 Republican-leaning voters who opted to skip the race altogether or wrote in a candidate, the analysis found. Yeah, okay. There's nothing. Yeah, again, there's nothing weird here. There's nothing strange here. 40,000 Maricopa County voters cast ballots for other Republicans. So if that's going to be her big scathing evidence, then it's going to be against her own party. But yeah, no, this woman's nuts, and she blew it for herself. So now we gonna get into the next story. Actually, let's go ahead and watch this video. Pretty disturbing. I don't know if you've seen it, but police in North Carolina shoot a disabled man who was unarmed and complying with their orders. So I actually I did this earlier for Rebel HQ. But this is just, yet another example of how police officers pretty much do what they feel like doing. They handle situations primarily how they feel like handling them. So let's take a look at this. This is pretty disturbing, but this is the country that we live in.
What is going on? I don't know.
Come outside, Jason. Step outside the door onto the deck and show us your hand.
So they woke him up. They're getting up out of bed.
What the fuck?
Jason, we just want to talk to you. Come outside.
Yeah, what?
Show us your hand.
What did you? I'm shot! What the hell? I'm shot! He's shot! What the hell did you do? Oh, fuck! I'm dead! I'm shot! I'm shot! He's shot! He's shot! No! No! He's shot! No! He can't! He's shot! I'm shot! He's disabled! He's shot! He's shot! Can you hear us? I can hear us! There's a he can't!
Show us your hand.
I don't have a gun! I don't have a gun! I didn't have a gun! I didn't have a gun! Got clear. I didn't have a gun! I didn't have one! I had to
Turkey police, am I here now? Yourself! Turkey police, am I here now? Yourself!
Please, you have your best.
Yes, they're on their way.
You shot me right
Here. Where are you here at?
Take my chest.
Okay, the ambulance is on its way.
I have no gun.
Hey, master, hold on. Pull him and start working on him. God damn it.
Hey, don't worry.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure he survived. But basically what we just saw here is a SWAT team outside of what looks like a trailer. At night they were asleep in bed and they were telling them to come out with their hands up. They did so. It looked like the guy had like a flashlight or I don't know, something in his hand. But obviously there are a number of things with this. One, his woman was with him, his lady, whoever she was, girlfriend, wife, I'm not sure. But they were together, so she could have been shot as well. She was literally right behind him. Well, not even right behind him and kind of to the side. So she could have been shot when he stuck his head out the door to see what was going on. And then, you know what I mean? Like, another thing that you have to keep in mind about stuff like this is, this is like a level beyond like just like a cop or a group of cops. This is a SWAT team. They have bulletproof everything, bulletproof vests, bulletproof pants, bulletproof helmets. They got fucking night vision goggles. They have military grade weapons. They have, many other officers with them, like 10 plus officers with them. They have basically tanks. You know what I'm saying? They have all these different types of vehicles that just make them vastly more prepared to deal with pretty much any situation that a regular American just would not have access. Even a wealthy American wouldn't have access to the type of weaponry that they do. And again, like you said, Lady Intrigue, they just walked right over him. And clearly this was overkill. Clearly this was an overreach. But again, the important thing is again, police officers typically handle situations the way that they want to handle them, because we've seen examples. The negative examples, obviously, people getting shot in the back, people getting shot when they're vastly outnumbered, people getting beat up, stop resisting, stuff like that. But we've also seen examples of police officers handling things properly. We've seen examples of police officers diffusing situations, even if they're in a situation they shouldn't be in, like a mental health crisis. We've seen officers, what was his name? Dylan Roof, when he was in the back seat, they gave him cheeseburgers. We've seen examples of police officers diffuse situations. So, I mean, and too, like, even like your personal life, it probably happened more so when you were, younger, like maybe 16, 17. But police officers maybe possibly letting people off. They pulled you over, you were speeding. They're like, I'll just get out of here, man. All of that to say, what up, Mike? What up, everybody? What up, Mike? Nice. But again, all that to say, the police officers do what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do what they want. So, and this isn't even an instance of like shooting an unarmed black man. This guy was quite European. So it's just really, just disturbing to look at this. But what's even more disturbing, in my opinion, is how desensitized we are to all of this. This is so normal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another day reporting police brutality. But bottom line is, police officers have the ability to handle situations differently, and they just don't. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on that. But I thought that was important to go over, because that was rather extreme. That wasn't even like a situation where it was like, oh, there was one officer, and no, it was a SWAT team. You know what I'm saying? Whole SWAT team, and still they felt threatened. They felt like they didn't have, what was going. But now, to kind of go into it, 3 weeks and 36 mass shootings. This is America in 2023. 3 weeks, 36 mass shootings. And again, this goes into, just kind of what I just said about how desensitized we are to it. This is, 30, like, that's a lot. It hasn't even been a full month. Like, what the fuck? Like, and you can't even keep track of all of it. You just can't. At least 10 people are dead and another 10 injured after a mass shooting in Monterey Park, California, Saturday night that happened as the city's large Asian American community was celebrating Lunar New Year weekend. A lot remains unknown, but the scenes of agony and horror are increasingly all too familiar in America. In fact, Saturday's mass shooting joins a staggering 35 others from just the first 3 weeks of 2023, per the Gun Violence Archive. So let's take a look at some of the data. Firearm injuries are now the leading cause of death among people younger than 24 in the United States, according to a study published in December 2022 edition of Pediatrics, the Journal of the American Academy of Pediatrics. From 2015 through 2020, there were at least 2,070 unintentional shootings by children under 18 in the U.S. Those shootings resulted in 765 deaths and 1,366 injuries in just a 5-year time period. So, mass shooting. Oh, I just got a text. Shorty on the way with some food and some cannabis. So, you know what I'm saying? My day's about to get a whole lot better. But anyway, mass shootings in the United States are on the rise. And again, it's like, this is, you see numbers like this, and it's like, still to this day, we have people who are like, oh, well, there's just not enough weapons on the streets, even though there's more guns than United States citizens on the streets. It's like, or, think about how much safer do guns really make us? Like, for instance, like having like a shotgun in your home. Okay, that makes sense. Makes a burglar could come in, somebody could come in. Makes perfect sense to be able to defend your home. You can come out and do what you got to do. But just walking around with a gun in general, I get that in some places that may help you out. Like, for instance, like I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. It's a rather, dangerous place in a variety of areas, especially if you're just walking around. Okay, I can see how that could protect you. And we have our right to do that. But in a lot of cases, having a gun really won't make you safer, because if someone comes up on you and they already got their gun gone, if they already have their gun drawn, you're not really going to be able to pull it out in time to shoot them before they can shoot you. If you're already in a situation where guns are drawn and you don't have yours drawn already, you're just another person with another gun. You know what I mean? So in a lot of situations, guns really don't make people more safe. They just don't. I mean, it may give you the perception of safety, but if you're not the first person with a gun drawn, the shit's not going to keep you safer. And I think that that's something that goes over a lot of people's heads, especially too, like for people who like, again, it's your right, I guess, but like who collect all these guns. It's like, what, are you going to walk around everywhere with all these fucking weapons? No, you're not. So are they really keeping you more safe? No, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. And already, look, this is the mass shootings. Last year, 647, 2021, 690. This year, 36 already. I mean, a study published late last year in JAMA Network Open analyzed firearm deaths over the past 3 decades, a total of more than 1 million lives lost since 1990. I mean, like, there's so much going on. And again, here this is pointing out too, we're alone in these types of stats. Countries that have introduced laws to reduce gun-related deaths have achieved significant changes, a previous in-depth CNN analysis found. So they look at Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, Britain. Australia, less than 2 weeks after Australia's worst mass shooting, the federal government implemented a new program, banned rapid-fire rifles and shotguns, and unifying gun owner licensing and registrations across the country. In the next 10 years, gun deaths in Australia fell by more than 50%. So again, the argument that criminals will always get their hands on guns. Well, sure, but they won't. A lot of the people carrying out these murders are just regular everyday people. They're not like career criminals. They just have access to guns. So it's not like there's some like street riddled person who has like all these connections. No, they're buying these weapons legally. South Africa, gun-related deaths almost halved over a 10-year period after new gun legislation. New Zealand, gun laws were swiftly amended after the 2019 Christchurch mass shootings, just 24 hours after the attack, in which 51 people were killed. Britain tightened its gun laws and banned most private handgun ownership after a mass shooting in 1996, a move that saw gun deaths drop by almost a quarter over a decade. Again, we have the data. We know what's up. It's just about making those gun manufacturers more money. You know, because again, like if you aren't the first person with a gun drawn on the streets, having a gun in your pocket in a holster won't save you. It just won't. Because the time it takes for you to reach in your pocket and pull out the gun, I'd have already shot your ass 4 or 5 times. So stop with the nonsense. Now we gonna move on. We gonna move on. What should we do next? We'll save the next video. Drunk racist Lyft passengers. We're gonna say that video. We're gonna get to that in a second. But now this is pretty interesting. And I actually haven't looked at this all the way through. So I wanted to look at this with you guys first, because this is a very important issue. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I currently live in New Jersey. I've been living in New Jersey for 6 years. We're not dealing with drought and a water crisis in the same way that the Southwest is. And it's a big problem. The Colorado River has been drying up due to drought. And also 40 million people share the same water supply, which means that you have to be very precise about where water goes, how often it can go there. These types of laws and regulations have to be changed up a lot. And I've talked about briefly Las Vegas. Las Vegas is actually one of the most water efficient cities on the planet. They have right. It's raining here in New Jersey. Exactly. It's raining right now. It's been raining for a few weeks in California, in Southern California, but it doesn't do that often. But again, like I was saying, Las Vegas, they're actually one of the most water efficient cities on the planet. Absolutely no drop of water goes to waste. They clean their water very efficiently. As of relatively recently, I believe since 2019, could have been sooner. You can't water your grass. You can't have real grass lawns. And it's not arbitrary. It's Las Vegas in the middle of the fucking desert. There's no water there. So they have to do that, or else motherfuckers will be parched. they ain't gonna have no water. So these are the types of things that not just the Southwest, but cities worldwide are gonna have to start considering, because there's technologies like desalination of ocean water, but it isn't yet to a point where it can really be done at a mass scale. It's still very expensive. So we're just not there yet. So meaning we're going to have to utilize a lot of solutions. So how Arizona, California, and other states are trying to generate a whole new water supply. Underground storage may be a key for Western states navigating water shortages and extreme weather. Aquifers under the ground have served as a reliable source of water for years. During rainy years, the aquifers would fill up naturally, helping areas get by in the dry years. But growing demand for water coupled with climate change has resulted in shortages as states pump out water from aquifers faster than they can be replenished. The fallout can also lead to damaged vegetation and wildlife as streams run dry, and damage to aqueducts and flood control structures from sinking land. You know, the ecosystem is all connected, you know. So again, this takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of people coming together to solve these types of issues, you know, because you got to think about, like, oftentimes with us trying to solve issues, sometimes we create other problems, like when we bring invasive species, like maybe to deal with pests that eat farmers' vegetation. And then the next thing you know, this invasive species is causing a whole other set of problems because they don't have any natural predators in that environment, and they breed out of control. Like, what are those? The cane toads in Australia, up here in New Jersey, some type of a fly that's actually a very beautiful insect. They have really pretty red polka dotted wings, but they got signs everywhere. If you see these, kill them. So, you know, there's really no easy fix to stuff like this. All right. By overpumping aquifers, you've created space. There's space under the ground that used to be filled with water, explained Michael Kaparsky, Water Program Director at the Center for Law, Energy, and Environment at the University of California, Berkeley School of Law. And what we can do with these groundwater recharge projects is take advantage of that space, which is vastly greater than the sum of all of the surface storage reservoirs that exist now or could be built. So basically take advantage of spaces that are already built. No need to build new spaces and new reservoirs. All right. If implemented, so this is the aquifer recharging. If implemented on a wide enough scale, recharge projects hold the potential to bolster water security in drought-stricken regions while improving the health of the environment. Okay. In California, where 85% of the population relies on groundwater for some portion of their supply, more than 340 recharge projects have already been proposed. Man, there's a lot of space. 500,000 acre feet each year for expanding average groundwater recharge. So they're putting a lot of effort into this. Okay, so in Orange County alone, officials pumped 65 million gallons of treated water into recharge basins in Anaheim each day. The county began recharging water through the infiltration basins in 1936 and serves as a model for other communities looking to implement managed aquifer recharge projects. So basically, they're just pumping in water into aquifers that get depleted. If we want to maintain our groundwater systems and sustain them, not deplete them, not mine the water, and we want to have enough water for everything else, for agriculture, for cities, for the environment, for the streams, so forth, we have to put a lot of water into the ground. Okay, so this will be interesting. We'll definitely keep our eyes out on this because, again, drought and lack of drinking water is a huge issue in the Southwest and is becoming a huge issue for the world all over. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on pumping these aquifers. And again, what exactly the Southwest is going to do? Are they going to model after more Las Vegas? Are they going to outlaw grass lawns? Stuff like that. Desalination technology has to be made cheaper. It has to be made more efficient. But my bet would be that there's that desalinating ocean water is definitely going to end up being a huge technology, but further down the line, it's still very expensive. But humanity has a lot of work to do. Now, before we watch our drunk racist Karen video, we're gonna get into this because this is different right here. Again, like I was saying, I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with Planet Fitness. They're all over the place. It's like $10 a month to be a member. But apparently, they have been getting audited, and someone has been calling them an illegal billing operation with gyms on the side. Uh-oh. What we got going on? Basically, this article goes in to say that after a lot of review, yes, Felicia, I agree. We do need infrastructure to collect rain. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff going into that, but if we want to survive, then that's what we're gonna have to do. But basically, what this article for Planet Fitness is going into is to say is that it's very difficult to cancel your Planet Fitness memberships. Like, you can't do it online, you can't do it over the phone. You basically have to go in person to do it, which makes obviously actually canceling your membership much less likely because it's so much difficult to do. And a lot of the money that they make basically comes from people just paying for their memberships every month but not going to the gym. So a leading gym operator in the United States is the target of a new short report. The Thursday report from Bear Cave lays out a case that Planet Fitness has issues with overbilling, uncancelable memberships, and is lying about the locations of its gyms. With over 2,000 locations in the United States, Planet Fitness is the leading franchisor of low-cost gyms. Dorsey said he used Freedom of Information Act requests. Oh, the Freedom of Information Act. If you didn't know what that was, it comes in handy. If you basically, the federal government has to give up records. They have to give up like public records of like corporations and court cases that have gone down, stuff like that. So it's definitely useful. So Dorsey said he used Freedom of Information Act requests to uncover hundreds of complaints against the gym chain by customers. A pattern of cancellation attempts being ignored was among the issues found in the investigation. Benzinga has contacted Planet Fitness for comment. Every year, millions of Planet Fitness members attempt to cancel their memberships. Every year, so they just collect. That's a lot. 10 millions of people at $10 a month. That's a lot of money to just be collecting for no damn reason. You know, that's easy money. That's kick your feet up on the desk and not do nothing money. The report says Planet Fitness relies on beginners and could see high cancellations as a result, but doesn't make it easy on customers. And that is one of the selling points of Planet Fitness is it's like an environment for people who maybe they don't have a lot of like experience with fitness and exercise. So it's like there's just like less peer pressure, less pressure there. It's easier to do it. So that's a lot of how Planet Fitness markets themselves to the people who aren't like, you know, fitness freaks. But again, that also means that if you're not really into fitness, you're probably not going to be at the gym for that long. So in order to make up the losses, they just make it hard for people to cancel their memberships. All right, so let's see how we do it. The company's website says the cancellation cannot be done online, over the phone, over email, or through an app. Instead, customers have to cancel in person or send a letter with the reasons for the cancellations. Most Planet Fitness gyms require access to checking accounts or debit cards, a move that is done to prevent credit card disputes. The report lays out many complaints over the years and investigations into the practice. Bear Cave also cites a F rating for Planet Fitness from the Better Business Bureau and a 1.3 star rating out of 5 stars on Google reviews. Another issue raised by the report is an allegation that Planet Fitness created a fake investor presentation slide to obscure franchisee saturation. So basically, they just lied about their gym locations. They just said like, oh, well, there's like 100 locations spread out through here. And then like possibly they're just not even there. They're just collecting money off motherfuckers' old memberships that they can't figure out how to cancel. That's hilarious. Oh, man, people be out here frauding, man. Fraud. Okay, so after reviewing the evidence, the Bear Cave is left wondering whether Planet Fitness is actually a thriving gym franchise or an illegal billing operation with gyms on the side. That's funny because obviously Planet Fitness, I mean, everybody has seen a Planet Fitness, but that's pretty funny. And Planet Fitness, like they have like typically like a good reputation with the public. Like it's not, you know, like there's generally not like a lot of hate for Planet Fitness. And that's what allows stuff like this to go by unnoticed. You know what I mean? Like you don't particularly have any beef with somebody. You think that they're all good. You think that everything's all straight. That's how they get past with stuff. But if this is true, then this is a big deal. But again, like the public just doesn't hate Planet Fitness. So unless the government really bites down on this, then ain't nothing gonna change. Because a lot of the time what happens with public companies that get into trouble, not always, but often it's because like the public is making so much noise about it that law enforcement really just, they don't have a choice. There's really nothing they can do. So we'll see what happens, but I don't suspect that because $10 a month just isn't that much money. It can be, but you know, $10 a month, I'm more than certain I'm paying for 3 or 4 subscriptions that I don't need now. And I see them every month. Like Planet Fitness is one of those subscriptions that people just never cancel. You know what I mean? Or one of those memberships that people just never cancel. So now we're going to get into our video for the day. And then I got to get on out because I got other work to do. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Sensitive pasta. Yeah. They're definitely not the only ones doing that for sure. Absolutely not. All right, let's check out this video of the drunken Karens.
You. Yeah.
Film him saying that. Continue saying that.
What's a sand? Do you know what a sand is?
Joe?
Do you know what a sand is? Because I do.
Joe, stop! I'm videoing! Stop! Stop! I'm videoing. You stop.
I know it's Chris.
I got your license plate. You should never drive Lyft again.
No, you will never drive. Yeah, you will never drive.
Are you happy now?
No?
By
No,
calling
not.
people?
No, we expected a Lyft drive home. That's what we expected.
Come off
Just
my
put
house,
on-
you
just
stupid
put on your
fucking
mask.
idiot.
Just-
Hey, hold on.
gosh.
Hold on. You're just a stupid idiot.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You feel good?
you.
You feel good now?
Do you feel good?
Do you feel good?
Do you
Here,
feel
hold
good?
on. I'll feel better when I piss in here. Let me piss in your car.
Go ahead, do it.
Hold on, I'm gonna piss
That'll
in
help
your
your
car.
case.
Do it.
Piss in his
Do
car.
you feel better?
Yeah, I'm not. You stupid.
Do you feel good? Do you feel good?
As you're recording, record him saying okay?
Look at him as he
Good.
waddles
Hold on, I'm
over.
pissing
He just, what was he saying? He was like, you know what saying nigger is? He kept saying that over and over again. Then his wife or girlfriend or whoever's like recording, you know, because then they're gonna get the brown guy in trouble for kicking them out for being all belligerent, you know, in the lift. You know, because people like this, they always feel like, oh, I can say whatever I want to you. I can do whatever I want. But the funniest part of this whole video is look at him waddle over
Do
to
it.
the side.
Do you feel better?
Yeah, I'm not.
Watch.
You stupid.
Here we go.
Do you feel good? Do you feel good?
As you're recording, record him saying
Waddle.
okay?
Do you good?
You.
His name is Joe. Thank
Do
you so
feel
much.
good?
He's like insulting the driver for like, you know, being a Middle Eastern or whatever, for existing basically, because he thinks he's better, and then he like waddles over to the side like he just oh god. And his shirt's like he looks like he just took a dump, and he
Do you
you
feel
just
good?
took a dump on the side
Here,
of
hold
the
on.
road.
I'll feel
He's
better when I
like pulling
piss
his
in here.
pants up.
Let me piss in your car.
Go ahead,
I'm
do
gonna
it.
piss in
Hold
your
on, I'm gonna
car,
piss
and
in
then we're
your
gonna
car.
show
Do
lip,
it.
and that'll get you
Do
fired.
you feel better?
Yeah, I'm not. You stupid.
Do you feel good? Do you feel good?
As you're recording, record him saying okay?
Do you good?
You.
His name is Joe. Thank
Do
you so
feel
much.
good?
Have a
Do
good
Do you
night.
feel good?
And
Have a
oh,
good
it's
night.
10:00.
Right, Jazzy, his little waddle off to the side, like he like blah, 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 blah. Oh man, I don't know what he had to drink that night, but obviously he was having a little bit too much fun. But you know, it's people like that, they do stuff like that. But if you retaliate against them, then you're in the wrong. You know, if you don't allow people to treat you however they feel like treating you, then you know you're the one who's wrong. But that concludes today's stream. I won't be streaming tomorrow morning because I work an overnight shift tonight, and I'm gonna be asleep tomorrow. But I will be back on Wednesday, and I'm doing my best to get into other types of episodes. But I'm really busy. But I have better content. Different kinds of content coming. These are just fun streams. But I appreciate y'all for being here with me. Tell a friend to subscribe. I'll be on Unbossed with Nina Turner at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. And I will be on I'll be on TYT Power Panel on Friday night. So y'all have a good one, and I'll catch you later.